Hello. So today we're going to talk a little bit about dysphoria. And I made a video that I probably won't post that went into dysphoria, and it became a little too clinical. So today we're just gonna chill, talk a little. What the heck is dysphoria? What is it? What do we need to know for those transitioning and figuring out how to deal with it? Yeah. So dysphoria. It is this feeling of depression, sadness, sometimes dissociation. So there's a lot of ways to feel dysphoria. But it tends to be always like a very, it's it's a negative feeling, however that might come about, that is due to us not feeling like we are our gender, or that people aren't seeing us as our gender. So for example, it can come from me thinking my shoulders are too wide, classic trans dysphoria inducing thing. Or it can come from if someone dead names me, then, there can be some dysphoria around that, around what I like to call sort of social dysphoria. So it's dysphoria from the social area of things, rather than like shoulders might be a more physical type of dysphoria. And so, yeah, dysphoria there can be many levels of dysphoria. So sometimes it can be something small that just causes like a bit of discomfort. Or it can be quite serious, like dead name, or using trans people's chosen name is suicide prevention, because dysphoria can be so severe that it can be to degrees like that. And so, again, that's why it's really important to use preferred name and respect trans people. Like, come on, basic. But there's also dysphoria that can be very minor, and so this is kind of a problem I have with people who say that you don't need that you need dysphoria to be trans, is that there can be dysphoria that is so minor that we don't even pick up on it, we don't even see it, we might not recognize it as dysphoria, especially for people early in transition who might not even know exactly what dysphoria is yet. And so it's really important that we don't exclude those people, because they are feeling dysphoric, and even if they don't feel dysphoric, this is a whole nother video, but you can still be trans. There's gender euphoria as well, which is the flip side of gender dysphoria, which is a much brighter and happier topic, which is the opposite. You feel great for being seen, or seeing yourself as the gender that you are, and that can bring great happiness, and that can be another reason to transition. But dysphoria is generally the kind of what is looked at when someone is being asked if they should transition, or if they're wondering if they should transition. And so generally, if you're having dysphoric symptoms, that's, you're pretty much trans then. And that's where we also get into a bit of trouble, or not trouble, but systematic issues, because right now, in order to get hormones, you generally need to be diagnosed with dysphoria, which is a weird, there's just some problematic things around that, because these doctors who've done that, who created the diagnosis to begin with, they aren't trans and they don't know what dysphoria is, and so it tends to put the onus on us to prove that we have dysphoria in order to get the treatment that we need to live a happy life, which can be quite difficult, and there's definitely some problems in there. Maybe that's another video as well. So earlier I mentioned that two types of dysphoria, physical dysphoria such as shoulders, or social dysphoria, which is from other people seeing you or misgendering, etc. Social dysphoria can also come from feeling uncomfortable in a place where you should be. So that might be feeling uncomfortable in the woman's washroom, or getting makeup. This is for a trans feminine perspective. But there's another type of dysphoria as well. These are just categories that I like to make, because I like to see kind of how things happen, and so these are just the types that kind of pop into my head. But there's also a psychological dysphoria that I found, at least for me, was quite severe, which is more like the effects of testosterone on the mind can be quite unpleasant or dysphoric inducing. So like, for example, I wasn't able to cry before hormones. And that was something where I would get dysphoric because of other things. I'd want to cry, but be unable to cry, and that would be another source of dysphoria. And so it sort of compounds, and dysphoria can often snowball like that, where one thing leads to noticing another thing, and things come crashing down really fast. Yeah, so just some things to deal with dysphoria. I'll probably make another video with a lot more detail about it, but I found that the best way is to do something that induces gender euphoria. So kind of cancel out the dysphoria with something happy. My go-to is having a bath, shaving my legs, and rolling around in a clean bed, and just enjoying that feel of nice sheets on legs and that, and just things like that. Just taking care of yourself, taking some time for self-care, and sometimes also you just need to like reset a little, and just whatever you can do to kind of take your mind off of these dysphoric thoughts. So maybe playing a game, reading a book, or something to kind of move your mind in a different direction. I tend to find if I'm busy with something else, it's difficult to focus on dysphoria. Yeah, but also just like making progress and transitioning, which can be difficult kind of in those early stages where it feels like you're not making progress, but it is a marathon, not a sprint, so just keep going, and do the little things that you can work with. Voice practice is one that I think can be helpful, but it can also be dysphoria inducing. But other things, just like wearing some clothes that you like, something that you're comfortable in, can make a really big difference. And so there we go. That's some stuff on dysphoria. There'll definitely be more coming because it's a huge, weird, crazy topic. And there's also a lot of discourse right now about whether you need dysphoria to be trans, which is, I hate it so much. We shouldn't be gatekeeping people. But anyways, that's its own video. And ContraPoints and Mail to Bitch already did videos on that, which are really good. So if you're interested in that, check them out. I might do my own little thing, since I think I have another side of the argument to bring forward. But yeah. Anyways, thank you so much. Have a fantastic, lovely, beautiful day.